Scraplift Crafternoon, and I will have the links to the ladies below that are playing along. I believe Kimberly is still playing along with I'd Rather Be Scrapbooking, and Kristen for Scrapping on the Fly, and maybe Anna with Peace Craft Love, but check the links below for sure. So the layout we're going to be scraplifting, and I'm sorry, I don't have the thumbnail in front of me. It's just, I have just at the moment the YouTube video. It's from Jessica Michaels, and she has done some mixed media behind the tags, a couple of photos. She's torn and shown a paper, pattern paper behind, a couple little, embellishment kind of thing he stuck in there, and then this little, like, I don't know, garland, I guess might be the right word. The cool part is if you watch her video, which I'm going to have that link as well, and I encourage you to do so, she's using a stamp. It's a really old Stampin' Up! Stamp. And I happen to have the exact same set. So I was really excited about it. So it's this set here. I have not a clue what the name was. The name of the set, I mean. But it was kind of grungy and, I don't know how to explain it. But it's like kind of neat and textured. And this was the one she used. And she used Distress inks and oxides, I think it was as well. And so I pulled those out, and I'm going to kind of copy her technique. Now she did also use I think she used a stencil up here with some diamonds or something. I'm going to go ahead and use another one of the stamps because I think this will look kind of cool. I think that's the one I'm going to use because it kind of gives a similar feel. And then this is the Distress Oxides I have, which is the aged mahogany, bundled sage, and gathered twigs. And I tested them on my paper. There's actually a couple different colors here, but it's that one, this one, and this green. So I think those are gonna look pretty with these little pieces. The paper is Vicki Bouton's Fernwood, and I'm using it because I still had in the like ephemera stuff, I still had some of these tags here. So I'm gonna use these instead of the, kind of like for the way she used the tags. I'm gonna use these tags. And then also there's like some stickers and whatnot. And I think I can build out the little clusters and stuff. I don't have a garland, so I'm gonna have to see about that, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. And then I've got this is gonna be my like peeky paper. The one that's peeking out behind is gonna be this paper here. And y'all, I haven't even pulled out the photos. I know what I'm gonna do, but or at least I know the general story, which is when my daughter and my husband went hiking, but I have yet to print the photos. So I'll do that, and you'll see those in a minute. I will put you back on camera while I do the mixed media and all that kind of stuff. So we'll talk soon. Okay, guys, we're going to start the fun part, which is this mixed media. And the more mixed media I have to do because of challenges and hops and things, the more confident I'm feeling. Woohoo! Now you watch, I'll probably screw something up next layout. This one turned out okay, so I'm a little confident on this one because I already know the outcome, right? So I'm actually using the same technique as our original scrapper used, which is that stamp that she put the Distress, I think she used Distress Oxide as well. Distress Oxide on there, and then she just kind of wet it and then like, stamped it down on the paper to make it look pretty. And I do use 3 colors as well. I actually really love how this turned out. I thought it turned out great. I'm thinking in my head going, I ain't using that packaging technique no more. I'm just going to have this stamp on my desk all the time because it looks so good. I was really happy with it. So anyway, I'm going to do these 3 colors. So while I'm kind of showing you this, because I thought about cutting out some of it, but then I thought I'm going to read you all about this Manitou incline. So the pictures that I'm going to show you, or that you're going to see when I start to actually do the scrapbooking part, or the hearing of goodies part, are a picture of my husband and my daughter at the top of Manitou incline, and a picture my husband took of my daughter. I think he was at the top and he was just taking a picture. She was kind of finishing it up. So the Manitou Springs Incline, also known as Manitou Incline or simply the Incline, and I'm reading this from Wikipedia, is a hiking trail above Manitou Springs, Colorado, near Colorado Springs. This thing, y'all, it goes up for 2,744 steps. Sorry, 2,744 steps. It gets an elevation gain of 2,011 feet in less than a mile. So this thing is essentially straight up. Now, when I read the little the website about it, you kind of look at it and stuff, it tells you to give yourself 2+ hours. Now, let me stop real quick and tell you right now, I'm just using the other stamp with the, I wanted to like do an offset of that burgundy color. I forget now, I think it was, oh shoot, the name is right there, y'all. So just kind of take a look at it. It's that more burgundy color. I wanted to just kind of offset that on the right, on that upper right corner. So I've done the star stamp up there. So there's these two pictures. You can kind of see them. I've already gutted. I think I showed you in the intro, I was going to use that black and white kind of sunflower paper as my peekaboo paper. So I'm going to trim. I did gut the piece out of the middle there because she didn't really mat it to. I think she used a white construct, but I went ahead and used this flowered paper because I just did. I wanted to. So I got that little piece out of the middle, and I've saved it for the photo mats. Now, here's where I've trimmed that white. I should say white. It's kind of a, it actually said something like swirly twig or something was the color. I don't remember the name now. It was strange. It was basil cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and cut out or tear out my little peekaboo pieces here so you can see the flowers through them. And then I'm going to have my pictures are going to get mounted on it. So anyways, these photographs are again at the top of this incline, and my husband finished first. So let me actually say this too. My husband is 52. You would never know it. My daughter was, this was last summer, so he was actually, I take it back. He was 51 last summer, and my daughter was 23, and he still beat her. And she's a college athlete, so let me assure you, neither one of these people are not in shape. He did it in something like, and I'm sorry I don't remember, and I should know exactly because they were very excited about it. I think he did it in 46 or 47 minutes, and she finished in like 52 minutes or something. She was about 7 minutes behind him, so not too far. But the website says to give yourself 2+ hours, and they definitely didn't take 2+ hours. They essentially ran up the side of that goddamn mountain. And then they asked me why I don't want to go on vacation with them. And I'm like, because I don't want to do that on vacation. But they were very proud of themselves. I think they even bought a t-shirt that says, I finished the Manitou Incline or something. And my husband says it's a little bit like a marathon. You get to the end and there's people up there waiting on people to finish the incline, and they're cheering them and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so I've stuck my mixed media paper down on top of this peekaboo paper, and of course I stuck that tape down before I stuck the paper down. I didn't want to stick it on the back of the white because I was afraid it was still a little bit wet and I didn't want to mess it up, so I stuck it on the peekaboo paper, and then sure enough I put the tape where the paper wasn't. Oh well, it is what it is. So it just kind of, rubbed off. It wasn't too bad. So here's where I'm going to take my pictures, and I'm going to mount them on these little, I probably could have made a little bit bigger photo mat, but I was a little bit worried about fitting it inside that ring of ink, which I'm glad I did make these a little bit small because I kind of did struggle to get it inside that ring of ink. But that first picture you saw there, this one here I'm mounting right now, is my daughter finishing on top of that. My husband took it when she was coming up the top. And then the other picture is somebody, I don't know who took it, some random person, I suppose, from the top. And you can see the view. It is just stunning. You can see out over, the mountain. And you can kind of see in that picture where my daughter's coming up, the steepness of those steps. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And if you're a hiker and all that, I imagine you've probably gone there. But if you enjoy doing stuff like that on vacation, y'all tear it up. I'm not doing it. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I've done other things, and it could be, it could be fun to have accomplished something on a vacation. But, it is what it is. All right, so I also decided to go ahead and scuff the edges of these little photo mats. Again, there's not much to them, but I did just want to get a little bit of texture before I start sticking stuff down. Now, as I mentioned, I chose this collection because of the little tags that was already in the ephemera, and I end up using actually more tags than she did. I think she actually only used 3 in hers, and I stick a few little extras in there, but I'm okay with that. I didn't have the garland, and I never added it. And I say garland, it's those little curvy stickers on her layout or whatever she used. I think it was stickers, or it might have been chipboard. But anyway, I didn't have anything like that, so I didn't use anything like that, and I didn't even try. I ended up sticking something else, and you'll see it in a minute. But I did have these 3 little tags, and I like these all right, and I'm just kind of organizing these. But you see I have that gap between the 2 taller tags. It's kind of between the pictures, and I kind of struggle with it for a minute. I'll end up fixing it or addressing it, but at the moment I like where these are. I just realized a little bit later on I can't deal with that gap too much. I just can't. It's got to be fixed. So I'll leave these for the moment. I go ahead and glue this stuff down, and I actually really like it. I was kind of proud because this is another one. I really didn't try to be all overly analytical or where this stuff is going. So I just kind of put it down where it laid, and it worked out real well. Now, the other cool part is that tag there that I've got my hand on. It's the little craft color tag with the leaf there, that's actually a little slip-in card. And I don't do it on the camera, but what I did go ahead and do is I journaled on the inside of that basically the Wikipedia facts about this hike, and then their little individual times or whatever. I kind of explained all that inside that little card. So I did get my journaling in. It's just hidden inside my little flower or leaf paper there. I did decide to go ahead and put that right-hand photo up on foam. I don't really know why, except I put foam on every layout. I just thought it needed a little bit of oomph. And it was kind of laying over the top of those other two tags, and it made it look a little strange if it was just flat. And because the cardboard or the little craft tag is kind of thick. And I actually even come in a minute. I don't think I've done it just yet. I'll do it in a second. I come in with a little Polaroid looking thing that has a butterfly on it. So here's where I'm looking. And she's got like a title. It's colorful with a little black and white piece kind of added to. And I'm looking at the stuff, the ephemera here, and there's a couple of different little black and white titles in here. And I start off with, I don't even remember. There was like 3 of them in there. That one, that here and there kind of sits there for a little bit. And then I end up finding another one in a second that's actually on the sticker sheet. So I'm going to switch over to the sticker sheet. I won't use the ephemera. But there were a couple of choices that I contemplated here. I'm kind of just thumbing through this ephemera thinking, okay, what can I put over on that left side? She had a flower, like a little black and white line drawing flower. And I wanted something. I thought about that flower. I thought about that bird. The bird almost made it, truth be told. But there really wasn't any reason for a bird. I kind of thought in my head, well, maybe they're because they're up in the air, you know, and they're high. And I kind of liked it, but I end up not using it. I get to the sticker sheet here, and I find well, first I pull that little sticker off. It says something like documented or noted or something. That does not stay there. It doesn't make it on the layout. I do something different. But then I find this Love It title, and I do like this. And I'll end up putting it actually up on foam. Go figure. I wanted this arranged just so, and I just kind of set that there. I'll end up coming back later. I didn't know at first I was going to do foam, and I do end up coming back later. And then I decide I'm going to use this little leaf/berry sticker. I thought about the butterfly. I try a couple little things. I audition a couple little pieces, and I even stick that on there and then realize, no, that's not even on the sketch. I don't know why you're sticking that on there. And so this is when I start looking at the, because that little note, maybe it said noted, it was too tiny and I just couldn't even see it. So I try a couple of other little chipboard, what are those called? Like page tags or something. And I find one that says begin anywhere. Now, technically that's not true, right? You got to begin at the bottom, but I'll find that in a second. It says begin anywhere. Have I not found that yet? Oh, there it is. Begin anywhere. I did find that other little chipboard phrase. I loved it. It says change your perspective. And I thought that was neat because it kind of alludes to, you know, climbing up the mountain and looking down a different way. Now, here's where I find this little Polaroid looking deal. And it's got this butterfly attached to it because I thought at first this butterfly wasn't attached to it. And I thought, oh, I'll just take that off and use that on that lower right corner. And, well, I guess I haven't picked it up and used it yet. This is where I decided to use the flower. I'm all over the place, y'all. I think about something and then I set it down and then I don't do it and then I pick it up later after I thought about it some more. That's where I stuck that little berry sticker though, and that does make it there. It matches. It's again, she has a different kind of flower, but I stuck that there where she kind of had that. This is where I pick up that little Polaroid looking thing, and I think, well, that looks kind of neat because that looks a little bit like because she had like a little butterfly in the lower right corner, and I said, this is a little butterfly, and I start to stick it up underneath the craft, and then I kind of do this cool little. Well, my phone just rang and it said scam likely, and the darn thing still shut my recording off. That is so rude. Don't y'all think when you're scam likely, cut your phone off for recording? Anyway, what I was saying was I have this little Polaroid here with this butterfly on there, and I end up kind of sticking it in a cool little like layered. I end up putting the craft over the Polaroid, but then letting the Polaroid kind of lay over the bottom of the craft. So it's a little bit, it's hard to explain, and you'll see it in a second, where I've kind of like interspersed it, or I guess you can see it right there. I kind of like layered it within the Polaroid looking thing. And I like how that looks. I think that looks kind of cool. Now what am I about to do? I'm about to cut over because I do need to go get the string for the tags. I forgot to pick that up when I sat down. So I'm gonna have to go over and get that. And then I'm gonna, so I did get it and I've already tied the little bows. I'll do another one in a second. Oh, here you go. Here it is. I started to, I had to run over and get the string and I started to tie it and I went, oh shoot, I got to turn the camera back on. So here's where I'm tying these little bows. At first I wasn't going to do the craft one because I thought, well, your title's kind of right there. But I do end up doing it. Spoiler alert. It'll look all right though. Now here's where I think I'm looking at that gap between the photos and the little daily observations tag, and it kind of frustrates me. I don't like that. So I'm looking at all the little ephemeras. I'm going, okay, what can I stick in there? What might work? And all those phrases were too big. But I do find this little, like, I don't know what that's called, terrarium jar. It's like a little terrarium, and the little phrase on it just says found treasures. It's got a little butterfly and mushroom. It just helps fill in that little gap a little bit. And it looks like a tag. So that was the other reason I picked it. I thought, well, that kind of looks like a little old tag. So that'll fit in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my foam tape up underneath the Love It title. And I'm going to, well, I said that, y'all. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm picking stuff up. I'm feeling a little bit discombobulated. Oh, I know what it was. I couldn't find my foam tape. It's crazy. I don't know if y'all do this, but I've got this desk, and it's a good-sized desk, but I end up just squishing and working in this tiny little space because I have so much junk, and I don't put it, I do put away. I actually do clean up between projects. I cannot function that way. So I do put things up between projects, but then I still feel like I'm working this little bitty old area, and I couldn't find my foam tape when I did it, so then I found my foam tape. And now I'm putting that up underneath my title, and I'm going to put my Love It on title, or on foam. And I like how that looks. I think this is actually going really well, considering this. It's really funny. I'm trying to think of myself, what's my style anymore? I'm not even sure I know. I like clean lines, but then I like more is more. I guess more is more, is my style. And whether it's a clean line with a bunch of stuff or not, it doesn't really matter. I just add a bunch of stuff almost all the time. But this layout was great because she did a lot of little, little add-ins and cool little touches of things. I think she even stamped. I don't stamp on mine. I always get scared about stamping like directly on my layout. I don't mind stamping off. And I say that, and I just realized I stamped all them little stars. So I guess that's okay. Maybe it's the words that scare me. I don't know. I'm just scared I'm going to mess it up about half the time. All right, so I'm making sure that my little journal card can kind of come in and out of there because I do want to use that. I knew I wanted to use that for the little factoids that are going to go with this layout. And then I had that little row of, I decided to go ahead and put foam underneath the little Polaroid things because it was laying kind of funny because it was on top of that craft envelope thing there. And then I know that the tag or that little chipboard begin anywhere is not going to stay on that photo if I don't do something. And then I had this little list of words there. I guess you could technically like cut them apart or something like that. I'm going to put those up underneath that Change Your Perspective, which I just glued down with Manuvo glue. But I'm going to end up putting that little list of words there up underneath that. So now it has like the word loving, and then I have these little words here. I think it looks kind of cool. I'm not really trying to make sentences or anything like that, but I'm going to end up sticking that there. In the meanwhile, I also found this little bitty sticker that said documented, and I stuck that on that little craft envelope. I will take my pen in a minute and go ahead and write the Manitou Incline, like phrase or title or whatever you want to call it on the little craft envelope. I figure it doesn't hurt nothing to have my handwriting on here. It is my scrapbook, right? And so I'm kind of thumbing through here again. I don't really think I add too much else, except I do pull out, there's little circled things. They look like pie charts in this collection. And I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm looking at the layout again just to make sure. Here's where I am writing that word Manitou Incline on my little craft envelope thing. I mean, I don't have ugly handwriting. I'm not going to tell you it's calligraphy or, real professional looking, but it's not terribly bad. So I can write it when I want to. And this is, I do need to glue down documented. It's not going to stick otherwise, and I knew that. So now I'm looking at it some more, and I'm like, okay, is there anything else I can add? And then I decided, yeah, you need that string on that tag. It looks weird not to have one. It was the only thing that didn't have it. And I go, no, you got to add a little string there. So I'm going to go ahead and add my little bow. And I just tie it where it's small enough where it doesn't hide the title in any kind of way. And that looks pretty good. So, yeah, they were real proud about finishing that incline. There was a couple people. They said one lady just kind of run right up it. I don't know. She might have had a backpack too. Who knows? There's some people that just amaze me in this world. They have so much. They just can accomplish so many things. Okay, this is where I've got the little round pie chart looking things. I kind of thought to myself, I wanted to bring some of the colors from the other colors into different, how do I want to say this? Make a little triangle out of it. So, for example, I put that green little circle pie chart looking thing in the upper right because it kind of is offset from the the little berry flower leaves, and then my little fern thing down there. And then I have the little peachy color in the upper left, and then I've kind of got, anyway, my whole point is I'm trying to make this little visual triangle of the various little colors. And I glue those down with my Nuvo glue because they're definitely not going to stick otherwise. And then I kind of examine it for a minute, and I realize you're done, Christine. More is more, and this thing has got a lot going on. I think it's a pretty good homage to the original. I really like how it turned out. I think it's kind of cool. It's artsy-fartsy and all the good things. So I'm going to slow it down in just a second. I'm just kind of tearing up the edges a little bit better. I'm going to slow it down and bring it up close so you can take a look at it. And then you will see the stills in a moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to go watch the other ladies' videos. Everybody does such a great job. I just love it. Y'all have a good one. Talk soon. Bye-bye.